Appa says, who is the toughest, most vicious guy to come out of your neighborhood, Bensonhurst? Scarpa, Gas Pipe, Frank DeChico, or anyone else? Who would you say?
Frankie DeChico. I would say Frankie DeChico. And here's why. Not only was he tough physically, tough with a gun, tough with his mount, he was an underdog type of guy. He helped more fucking people that were being abused by people. Scarpa was a fucking animal. Not in the same bracket as, you know, when you go to a certain point, you cross that line, you become, to me, a serial killer. You're not in it. That's not a tough guy no more. That's a fucking lunatic. Frankie DeChico was far from that. I was there one day. There was an argument, and 2, 3 guys, and they were talking about some guy. And the 3 guys were made guys. And he said, are you guys kidding? We grew up. We did the same shit as this guy, bro. Now you're going to gang up on the guy? We'll talk to the guy, and it's not going to happen. I'll talk to the guy. But I'm telling you another thing that's going to happen. Nobody's going to fuck with him. That, to me, is a man's man. He was for the underdog. He did the right thing. He helped many more people than he hurt. And so I would say Frankie was probably one of the toughest guys in that neighborhood, and fair. So it's not just how tough you are. It's what you are as a human being. I could gravitate towards a tough guy, whether he's Tommy Day and he's a cop and he goes to fucking boxing rings, or whether he's Frankie DeChico. It's not how tough you are. If you're a fucking animal, that's not a tough guy to me. I mean, you'll see cops do some weird fucking things running into a... Look what happened on 9/11. Cops running in and firemen running into the fucking buildings over and over and over again till the fucking thing fell on them and killed them. So when people want to defund cops or talk all this fucking nonsense, I mean, look at those people, what they did. Look at them. And I say people, I'm not talking cops, whether it's cops, firemen, those are people. And what they did was heroic. And how people could want to, I tell you one thing, if I'm having a fucking heart attack, don't get me a social worker, get me a cop so I can call the fucking ambulance. I could survive maybe.
That's when you'd be pulling for a flat foot, right, Sam?
No, listen, if my daughter or granddaughter was getting raped or bothered, who the fuck would I want there?
But listen, those names. Go ahead, Tom. Go ahead.
No, you know what? I mean, you think of the life that Sammy came from, you know, in the streets, and I'm very close, as close as I am to Sammy, as close as I am to the 2 agents that Sammy spent a lot of time with. And it wasn't just about, you know, debriefing things. It was, you know, they developed a very strong relationship over the years and care about each other very much. And they have nothing but great things to say about their experiences with Sammy, not just about work-wise, but just, you know, they would talk about, you know, even playing chess with him. They couldn't beat him in chess. It's just funny how you could get people from, you know, when would Sammy ever think that he would actually sit down and break bread with 2 agents and really care about them? Right. And you have 2 agents that, you know, one was a Marine, one was a school teacher, became FBI agents. They were partners for 22 years. They're 2 of the sweetest guys in the world and think the world of Sammy. And there's a real bond.
Let me give them a shout out. We're talking about Special Agent Matty Tricorco and Special Agent Frank Spiro. They were in C-16, the Gambino squad, and they were with Sammy for what, a couple of years, right, Sam?
Oh, yeah. Listen, they were even longer because when I was on the street, they were assigned to me. They were always around me. They were always courteous. They were always doing their job. Like I said, they got a job to follow me, to put me away if I break the law. But they were never disrespectful to me, my family, or anything. Matter of fact, one day it was right close to Christmas. And I come in from somewhere. I come in my office. My secretary says that Frank and Matty are outside. They're sitting in a car, it's snowing. Really, right now, right before Christmas Eve. Yeah. Get me a cardboard box. I got a cardboard box. I got coffee, cannolis, cakes, every fucking thing. And I brought it to the car and I banged it on the fucking window. So he's, what do you want? I says, here, take this box. What's that? It's coffee. It's espresso. It's cannolis in it. There's everything in it. Oh, we can't take that. It's not a fucking bribe. Take this fucking coffee so you could eat. Freeze it in there.
Christmas.
So you know, when I got pinched, and these guys put me in their car. They turned around. I hope they don't get mad at me for saying this. They took me in their car. They said, Sammy, you got money on you or anything? I said, yeah. I got a couple thousand, 4,000 or 5,000. Why? He said, you're gonna get locked up. You're never gonna see that money. If you want, give me the money, give me your jewelry, and I'll give it to Deb. Talking Deb like that was her sister. It's my wife.
Wife.
Called her Deb. So I said, well, you know, I'm thinking, if anybody's going to rob it, it might as well be that. So I give him the fucking money. I give him the jewelry. The next fucking day, it was in my house, given to my wife. They were such gentlemen, such manly people. And then I spent time, when they would come on a detail when I was in Quantico, they would come in. I think it was Frank's wife.
Made you dinner, made you pasta.
She used to make me pasta. So I would eat the pasta. I think 6 months ago, I called his house and his wife answered. So I said, listen, you're still his wife, right? Yeah, it's me, Sammy. Yeah, good. I says, listen, thank you so much. The pasta was fucking great. She said that's 20 fucking something years ago.
That's called mutual respect, Sam. Mutual respect. And I think when I worked with Tommy in the 6'8" squad, he had that type of respect with certain guys, specifically Billy Catullo, Wild Bill. And I learned something from that, you know, we don't have to be so adversarial if you approach it as like a business transaction, so to speak. I know it's a little crazy. I'm going to put handcuffs on you and put you in jail. But if guys gave me respect, I always gave it back. And that could be the scout from the projects, or that could be an organized crime captain, boss, whatever. So, and I think that, listen, like you said, we're just doing our job. You were doing your thing. And if you got caught up in it, it was part of the game.
You know, this is what we did in our real life as police. We spoke to people on the other side of the fence, you know, and maybe people would think this is a little different. Yeah, it is a little different, but I'm not apologizing to anybody. I did 27 years in the NYPD. I had an exemplary career. Phil Grimaldi the same. Tommy Dade's the same. We don't have to apologize to anybody. Sammy, many times in your career, you came close to being the subject of a hit for different things that you did that may have pissed people off. How did you avoid that? I know the rules are the rules, but the rules are always broken also.
Sometimes they're broken. You know, I broke rules, but not until I never robbed anybody, beat anybody, lied to anybody, bullshitted to anybody. I had a pretty good reputation. I think Tommy Day would verify that. And when I broke rules, it wasn't intentionally to hurt anybody or do anything. Usually, it was that something happened and people understood why I did what I did. And, you know, I look at, sometimes I talk to a friend at night. I missed getting hit so many times, it's crazy. And a lot of times I say to myself, I'm not a very religious guy, but I say to myself, God, so many times I missed it. Is there a purpose for this? I mean, I was shot in the back of the head with a rifle. It hit the back of my head. It nipped the skin. You know, it was coming in from an angle. And when it hit my skull, it just kept going the opposite way. And that's a miracle in itself. One time I got shot in the chest, came out my shoulder. It missed my heart by 1/4 of an inch. I came out of prison. I got cancer 3 times. Skin cancer, nothing major, and I beat it 3 times. So I told God, is there a purpose? I keep missing this. I mean, I had an appointment with Gas Pipes people and Al Diaco. They were in Gargiulio's restaurant in Coney Island, 5, 6 guys all loaded up. I'm ready to go. And I see a bunch of cars, FBI. So I think I'm going to get pinched. So I tell Big Louie and Johnny Gamarano, I had an envelope of money. I gave them the envelope. I said, listen, go to the meeting. I don't want to go there. I'll bring 100 cops with me. So give them my apology and tell them, you know, this is for this, this, and that. And I'll see you at another time. There's 6 guys there with guns. And the only reason I didn't go is because I see all these FBI cars around me. I figure, you know, why would I take that heat over there? And I missed that. So, and Al Diaco and other people talk about it. So there was so many times I missed it. You know, it's crazy. But I don't know how I missed it all them times, but I think I got lucky. I did 22 years in prisons. The second time I got pinched, I was in Arizona. I got a 20-year sentence, 19 years with the state, with a label that I cooperated. I says, I was 55. I said, I'll never make it. I'll never make this bit. But I made that too. So who knows? I don't know. Maybe God's looking out for me. You know, I'm a religion. I'm not a religious guy, but I do believe in God.